Welcome, audio sorcerers, wizards, and gurus to my channel. I'm Dan Spencer, and I am the audio sorcerer. So this is the channel where I teach how to fetch out recording, mixing, and mastering skills. So in today's video, we're talking about Cakewalk by Bandlab, and this is going to be the first video in a new series I'm starting on Cakewalk. And this video is all about how to record. So I'm going to teach you guys how to record virtual instrument tracks, which is basically MIDI, and then I'm also going to teach you how to record audio inside of Cakewalk. So this is a very beginner tutorial, but hey, if you never used Cakewalk, you're definitely going to want to watch this video. So before we get to it, I do want to remind you guys that I offer mixing and mastering services. So if you want to get your song mixed by yours truly, you go to audiosorcerer.com. You can check out my samples and my rates, and I give 20% off to new customers. And if you guys end up liking this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell to know I have new videos coming out. So with that being said, let's get to this tutorial. Alright, so here we are in Cakewalk by Bandlab, and today we're talking about how to record within Cakewalk. And there are two different types of recordings you would do. You would either do audio recording or MIDI recording. And MIDI recording is not so much done on a MIDI track, it's actually going to be done on a virtual instrument track. And we'll talk more about that as we go. So what I want to start with here is, now that I have a session open here, so make sure you guys have your session open now and you're ready to go. We're going to talk about making sure that our audio interface is set up and ready to go. So what you want to do is you want to go up to Edit, you want to go down to Preferences, and then you're going to want to go over to your Playback and Recording. So, pretty much every scenario I've ever worked with, it's always going to be ASIO for your driver mode. So make sure that you have ASIO set, and whatever audio interface you have at home is likely going to be ASIO, and you're going to be able to discover it in here. So we have this on an ASIO. Then we want to go over to our driver settings, and then we want to make sure that our playback timing master and our record timing master are set to our external audio interface. So I have a Focusrite. You can see that's in here. If I hit the drop down, that's all I have for ASIO. So on my end, I'm ready to go. And when you record, and this is always the subject of a conversation, what sampling rate do you want to record at? So this is where you would choose it within Cakewalk. So when I'm doing video, like I am now, I'm recording a screenshot and making a tutorial for you guys for YouTube. I prefer to do 48 kilohertz, and that's what I have it set at now. Now, if you guys are recording music, you're probably going to want to do it at 44.1 right here. And the reason for that is we still bounce down music to this sampling rate. So yes, we can go way above that, but there's not really any listening mediums we listen to on that are, doing sampling rates this high. So you're going to be safest at 44.1. And one thing important too, if you don't have a real powerful computer, and I know a lot of people starting out don't, you have a lot of CPU and a lot of RAM, when you start getting up to these higher sampling rates here, and you start putting a lot of plugins on your session, your plugins run at a higher CPU when they're at these higher sampling rates here, and you can only use a few really if you don't have a very good computer. Like if you were to pop on like Isotope Ozone, that might be the only plugin you can do if you are recording at 96 or 192. So just keep that in mind. I know a little off topic there, but I want you guys to know that. So the other thing that is important when recording is you don't want to have latency, of course. So if you don't know what latency is, that means when you say you hit a note on the keyboard or piano, you hear it back delayed. That's what latency is. So we don't want that. So what you can do is if you click ASIO panel, this should launch whatever your audio interface's software is. So if I click on this here, it should launch it. All right, so there we go, popped up now. So when it comes to latency, the buffer size is what matters the most. You want to have the lowest possible buffer size to have the lowest amount of latency. So I have mine set at 128. So if you look in here, we have several different options in here. So one thing you have to keep in mind is that the lower you go with the buffer size, the more CPU your computer is going to use. And if you don't have a very good computer, you may not even be able to go down to 128. You may want to do something like 256, which I think is fine in my mind. So when you're actually mixing music, you're going to want to put this as high as possible. So I would do it at 1024. In most scenarios, that's the highest you can go. And that allows you to utilize your CPU the best as possible, and you can run as many plugins as your computer is going to allow you to run. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to put mine back down to 128 here. And pretty much all of our settings are good to go for recording when it comes to our audio interface. So I'm going to close this. Make sure you hit apply down here and then hit close. And now we're back on our main screen here. So there's a couple things you want to think about when recording. If you have an idea for your song, if you've already written it like on acoustic guitar or whatever, then you probably already have a tempo in mind for it. So it's important to have that figured out before you start making a song. If you're just fiddling around, then it doesn't really matter so much. But I just kind of came up with some little piano parts I'm going to play in this tutorial. So I decided 100 was the tempo I wanted to be. So if you double click on this, you can edit your tempo right here, and that will affect it for the whole song. You can also set your time signature here. So pretty much 99.9% of all songs are 4/4. So if you don't know music theory, just leave it on 4/4 and you'll be safe. And then also, regarding tempo, we have a metronome track, which is down here in the console view. So the metronome track will play a little tick per beat, basically, and you'll hear it as I record. And it just allows me to play in tempo with the song. So it has its own fader. I can raise and lower the level. I can mute it if I don't want to hear it. Currently, I have it set just to play during recording. So when I actually do the playback, you won't hear it, which is the way I like it. So the next thing we need to do is actually create our tracks. So we're going to create a virtual instrument track and an audio track. So for our virtual instruments, they're actually located right here. So in this tab here, you'll see that you have a couple different things. This is actually where all your audio effects are in here. This is some of your MIDI effects. And then you'll see right here, we have our virtual instruments. So I'm going to grab a piano here. And I'm just going to grab the True Pianos by Cakewalk. So all you have to do is literally drag this over here, let go, and then everything in here, just leave it as is. Simple instrument track. That's basically all we need it set as. Hit OK, and your track is created. So I'm going to pull this down here just to expand the track a bit. So when we record, you're going to see MIDI data showing up in here as opposed to audio. So the next thing we want to do is create an audio track just so we have ready to go. And a shortcut key for Cakewalk to create an audio track is just simply Control-T. Bam, there we go. We got an audio track. And we will name these because I like to have my stuff named, of course. We want to be organized. So the first track is piano. So let's just call it piano. And the second one is just going to be a little guitar part. I'm just going to play some like guitar arpeggios or something just so you can hear some audio recorded. Cool. So we've got our two tracks. So the first one we are going to do is the piano. So you first have to record enable a track. So that's simply hitting this record button here, the little red circle. And that means the track is ready to record. And we want to make sure our cursor is actually starting at the beginning. So if you hit W on your keyboard, that will take you to the beginning, or you can just drag this thing back. Kind of stubborn sometimes. There you go. So now we're all ready to record. So all you need to do to record is either hit the record button here, or you can hit R on your keyboard. All right, so here we go. All right, cool. So that was just a simple little piano part. And what I want to do next to it is quantize it. And that means that all of my little notes within here are going to snap right to the grid lines up here and make sure that it is in perfect tempo. So if I click on the clip here, and then I hit Q on my keyboard, launches the quantize window. So I'm going to do 1/8 duration because I'm not playing many notes, and 1/8 will likely be the safest for this particular song. So I'm going to hit OK. And you're going to see that everything snapped into place. So let's actually give it a listen back and make sure that it sounds good. All right, cool. So that looks to be in perfect tempo. And one thing that's kind of cool you can see on these clips here is that I'm playing piano and I have a sustain pedal. You can actually see me pressing on and off of the sustain pedal, and that's actually what these little arrows are showing. So just a little fun little note to know. So now that we have our MIDI instrument track recorded, I'm going to turn off the record enable for that track. And now we're going to record a little bit of guitar now to go with it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to select our actual input on our interface that our guitar or whatever instrument we're recording is plugged into. So where it says I here, we want to click on the down arrow, and then we want to go find that input. So in Cakewalk, it usually shows up with left and right, which just actually means that it's 1 and 2. So left is 1, right is 2. So I'm using input 1, so I'm going to pick left right here. And now I just need to plug in my guitar, and we can make sure that we have audio coming in. So let me do that now. All right, so I got my guitar hooked up now, and we need to see if we're actually getting some audio level in. So if you hit this button here, it says input echo, and now we'll be able to hear it. Cool, so we got level coming in. So now we just need to record enable the track. And then we're gonna have this start back at the beginning here. And actually I'm gonna turn off the input echo here because of how I have my driver set up to be able to do this YouTube video. We're gonna have some issues allowing you to hear this. So let me record it and then I'll let you hear it back. So here I go. All right, cool. So I just laid down a quick little guitar strumming part. It's not perfectly in rhythm, but I'll just play a little bit of it. So let's give it a listen. So yeah, definitely needs to be fixed a little bit, but that's what we have audio snap for in Cakewalk, which we'll do in another tutorial. So that is all the steps it takes to record a virtual instrument MIDI track and then also a audio track. So I hope you guys learned something in this tutorial. And if you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to know to have new videos coming out. So with that being said, until the next video, I will see you guys later and peace out.